Welcome to Spirit360 Fellowship. We are an online spiritualist church to help spiritual but not religious people see whether or not spiritualism, its philosophy, principles, and practices are the right path for their spiritual growth and development this lifetime. This video is a recording of our November the 29th, 2020 Spiritualist Church service. We conduct these via Zoom at 7:30 and 10:30 a.m. each Sunday. Our agenda is a meditation followed by a guided spiritual energy visualization. Then we will have a spiritual lesson. This week's lesson is A is for awareness in our Spiritualism A to Z series. Then we will do an absence healing, and followed by messages being offered to those who attend our live Zoom services. The intention of this video is to help you see whether or not what we're doing feels right if it rings true. If so, you can get an invite to our Zoom services at spirit360.org. We practice a Zazen form of stillness meditation. It's a two-part practice. At first, you hold an image in your mind's eye to the exclusions of all other images, or hold one thought, followed by silence, absence of thought. It's a 10-minute practice, and I will say Reverend Bradley's request to start. Reverend Bradley's request is a simple prayer, simply to act as a touchstone and anchor, to set the intention and remind our body we're about to meditate. After that, you'll hear a bell. The first bell, I want you to hold an image in your mind's eye to the exclusion of all other thoughts. If you're like me and not able to see images clearly, just pretend or know or imagine that spot is there. On the second bell, I want you to let go of the spot and allow your mind just to go down into silence or stillness. It's that silence and stillness that opens the spiritual eyes of our soul so we can rediscover our spirit. With practice, you can reach this place of stillness within a few moments. So you have on command access to your spirituality, to your intuitive knowing. So in just a moment, I will say Reverend Bradley's request. If you know it, follow along. If not, simply listen to the words and allow those words to set the tone, the intention for this meditation practice. Immediately following the meditation practice, we will start our guided spiritual energy visualization. Open, O blessed Spirit, the spiritual eyes of my soul, that I may be released from the darkness overspreading me by the delusions of the outward senses, that I may perceive and understand those things spiritual. Complete your meditation. Allow your awareness to rise ever so slightly to a place of quiet receptivity, a place of thinking tranquility, a place I like to call the eye of the storm, a place where the chaos of the world is at arm's length, but more importantly, the tempest of your thinking and emotions remain quiet, calm, so you are receptive to your spirit self. Some people like to consider this a stronghold, a fortress, a safe harbor. Whichever you relate to most, allow yourself to dwell in this place of awareness. Very good. The intention for our healing practice today is to restore harmony to our physical body by first recharging and reinvigorating, re-energizing our spirit self. Because it's our spirit self, the part that continues after we die, that reminds the physical body to materialize itself as a replication of our genetic code. And to do this, within our eye of the storm, our fortress, our safe harbor, scan around until you find a door that says, "My healing place." That's the area within yourself that you access your health and well-being. It's a personal, individual healing center with everything you need to restore your body to harmony, health, vitality, wellness. And as you walk towards that door, know that beyond the door is exactly what you need to allow your spirit self to rematerialize your physical self in a state of harmony. Open the door, and as you open the door, you step into a room, and this room has no visible walls, ceilings, floor. It's a perfectly white area of healing energy. Its luminescence pervades your body. And as you step into this healing place, this healing center, notice how your physical body becomes more translucent, more related to an energy state rather than a physical state. Feel your spirit body reconnect with its chi, with its energy, with its power, with its source. And as you allow yourself to dwell in this healing place, you feel a surge of energy, a surge of aliveness. Nothing exists within this place that causes disharmony. All disharmony is washed from your body. And as you do a scan of your body, from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet, allow your mind to direct any additional healing energies you need to restore perfect harmony in this healing center, created by you, for you, to assist you in bringing about the harmony you seek. If you need a chair is there. If you want a recliner is there. If you want a healing bed 2000 that looks very similar to a tanning bed that you can open up and recline, it's there. If you need a little bit of a tonal expression of a harmonious tone, it's there. Allow yourself to dwell in this place of absolute perfection, pure healing luminescence and energy that pervades every cell in your body. Feel your body resonate at its core, essential vibration, the essence of you. And as you breathe in this place, notice what is not there. Any pain, any disharmony, any discomfort, replaced with energy, vitality, perfection, created by, directed by your mind, the most powerful tool in the universe that is within your control, doing your bidding. Breathe in the harmony. Notice how your body now is as luminescent as this healing place. Know that it is good. And before we leave this place of healing, remind yourself that this place is available to you with a simple thought. By allowing yourself to reach your fortress, your safe harbor, your eye of the storm, and scanning around until you find the door. Step through the door and allow yourself to create a perfect manifestation of health materialized in your physical body. And we will solidify our work this morning with these few simple, powerful affirmations. Please say them along with me. I am well. I am healthy. I produce right meditation. I engage right thought. I take right action. I cause good karma. I am the one. I am greatly loved. And together we say, and so it is. And as we say, and so it is, notice how the healing center begins to disappear as your body reemerges into our three-dimensional reality here now in this moment, connected as we are. And know that it is good. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I started my spiritual journey in 1987, and the more trained and developed I've allowed myself to become, the more I realize exactly how beautiful our ability to heal is. It's one of the magical parts of what we do. And I'm not talking about thinking about healing. No, I'm talking about allowing ourselves to directly influence our physical body with our mind's ability to control and direct energy. You know, I've always said that our energy flows where our attention goes, and with the intention it is directed. And for so many of us, it's very difficult to keep all three of those aspects together. So allowing yourself to create a healing place, a place where it is ideally suited to you and what you like, but directed with a great deal of loving and intention, is indeed one of the powers that I want you to master. One of the practices I want you to take on a regular basis. The results are quite remarkable. This week's spiritual lesson is called A is for Awareness. It's part of our Spiritualism A to Z series, where I will take different aspects and definitions and concepts of spirituality and give you our spiritualist perspective from a philosophy of spiritualism. And A is for Awareness is kind of a fun take on the M is for Murder series. Awareness is the name of the game. We begin life and we're dropped into a situation. We are born into a situation. So our first level of awareness is situational awareness. Our personality is developed by this situation, our circumstance, our environment. It's long been said, our individual traits, nature or nurture. And it's a little bit of both, in my opinion, because you learn how to survive within your tribe, within this situation that you were born into. And as you begin to figure out how to thrive in that environment, you gradually become more and more introduced to different environments. And sometimes your skills you learn to survive in your individual tribe work in all tribes. Some of them not so much. So we begin to have to adapt and adjust our personality, our skills, our tools, our training to survive all situations. Some of us do this brilliantly. Some of us not so much. And it's the next level of awareness where we decide who we are and why we're here and where we're going. And that level of awareness is called self-awareness. Self-awareness. So we have a situational awareness where our animal self is trained to survive and learn certain lessons from that. From those lessons, we step out into the world. And as we step out into the world and we start to reach our majority, we start to separate and emancipate ourselves from our tribes, our original tribes. Some of us do that, some of us don't. Some of us live in the same county that we were born in. Some of us are world travelers. We develop self-awareness. And self-awareness is allowing ourselves to express who we are, why we're here, and where we're going in a more natural, authentic way, regardless of situation. Now, for some of us are old souls. Some of us have been around the block a time or two. Now, there are two types of old souls. The first type of old soul is one who is street smart, whose situation that they were born into required them to become very savvy very quickly to survive. So they're smarter than their age. The second type of old soul is someone who has been around multiple lifetimes. It seems like around 30, 35 lifetimes that the old souls step into this world, and the experience of all their previous lifetimes begins to inform their situational and self-awareness. And they somehow know there's always been and always will be more to life than meets the eye. So this is an old soul who has been around for a while, having 25, 30, maybe 35 lifetimes. So those two types of old souls, and I guess there's a third, there's the old soul who was born into a situational environment that required them to grow up very quickly, is the introduction to our third type of awareness, which is spiritual awareness, becoming aware of spirit. And at Spirit360, we say there are three types of spirit. You have your spirit self, the part of you that lives after you die that chose to incarnate in this body at this time in history. You have your spirit guides and teachers, your community, your tribe from spirit side, who chose to help you accomplish what you incarnated to bring about this lifetime. Sometimes it's friends and loved ones. Sometimes it's people who you've had past lifetimes with, soulmates, people connected with you from the other side. And then you have your spirit for living. Now, your spirit for living is kind of the combination of your situational awareness, your self-awareness, and your spiritual awareness. You find out who you are, why you're here, and where you're going, and you are so targeted and on purpose that every action, every step you take is moving forward with an intention to accomplish what it is you incarnated to bring about. Plus a few bonus things here or there, and a few relationships and love and your work, if you will. So that's A is for awareness. 3 aspects of awareness: situational awareness, self-awareness, and spiritual awareness. And as your awareness expands further and further into both the situational realm and the spiritual realm, your self-awareness becomes more solidly grounded into what is your next step, knowing exactly where it will take you and never becoming surprised. We define that as a saint. So that's A is for awareness. This Spiritualism A to Z series will continue for a while. It's not going to necessarily be in A to Z order every time, but it will be the context of creating a lexicon of Spirit360 Fellowship Spiritualism, its philosophy, principles, and practices. Let's take care of some business. First of all, if you like what we're doing, if it rings true, if it feels right, subscribe to our channel, become part of our YouTube community. As you become part of our YouTube community, you connect with other like minds and kindred spirits, and stay connected with what we're doing in the Spirit360 Fellowship on our YouTube channel. The second thing to consider is that beginning in January, we will have our school, Old Soul Academy, open. Our school is where we start to actually train and develop you in the psychic and healing arts by helping you develop on-demand, displayable psychic and healing skills so you can see for yourself whether or not this philosophy brought into a reality makes sense for you, if it feels right. And the last bit of business is simply this. If you like what we're doing, please consider making a donation. You can donate at spirit360.org. You can share what we're doing in your social communities, and you can invite a friend. Any and all of those are wonderful ways to support us. You know, it's been my dream to create this online community, this online organization for a long time. I was born in the South. And when I moved from the South to California, I happened to land in a place where within an hour I've got 4 spiritualist churches. Much of the world doesn't have any. So I wanted to create this way for like minds and kindred spirits to connect, and connect in a way that they could get their questions answered, learn the practices to help them develop the skills, so they could see for themselves whether or not spiritualism is the right path for them. It is now time for our absence healing service. And absence healing is not prayer, because prayer alone doesn't work. Otherwise, there would be no illness in the world. Prayer sometimes works, but that is largely dependent upon the mind of the person being healed. What we do in this absence healing service is combine the 3 components that we feel are required to send healing energy to whomever you would like to for their highest and best good. And their highest and best good is up to them. And the energy we send them are directed by their spirit guides and teachers to serve that highest and best good. There are 3 components. The first component is yours, to hold in your mind's eye an image of whomever you would like to send the healing to. My part is to project and provide the healing energy. And in a brief opening prayer, I will invite our spirit guides and teachers to take the energy I project and send it to those you image for their highest and best good. I'm going to turn on the timer so you'll have 3 bells. Every time you hear a bell, I want you to hold an image in your mind's eye of the person to whom you would like to send the healing to. I want you to look at that image, see the picture of them on their best day of their life, happy, whole, complete, and perfect. And please begin with the first bell. I invite our spirit guides and teachers to step close to us right now, to take these healing energies the universe has directed here this morning and send them to those imaged for their highest and best good, so they may experience health, harmony, complete peace of mind, and well-being. I thank our spirit guides and teachers for their assistance here this morning, sending these healing energies to those imaged for their highest and best good. Amen. It's now time for our Messages service. This is an opportunity for me to share messages with you from our spirit guides and teachers. I do this for all of the people who attend our live Zoom services. Each person who attends live during Zoom is offered a message. To get your invite to join us at 7:30 or 10:30 a.m. on Sundays, go to Spirit360.org. Our Spirit Messages service has a few things to keep in mind. The first is, as I offer you a message, what happens is I invite my teachers to connect with your teachers and then share with me what to tell you for your highest and best good. Many times this information, these messages have to do with the future. And remember, the future is not cast in stone. The future is a simple probability or possibility. The closer the event, the closer the future, the more likely it will happen. But you have free will. So this information is being given to you that you can take actions to bring it about or take actions to avoid it, whichever you choose. The last thing to share with you about our messages is that this is a public, these messages are given in public. It's not a private reading. So many times our spirit guides and teachers will instruct me to tell people information in a way that it can benefit more than one person. I will open the service with a message from one of my teachers. I will give this for the general highest and best good of us all. And I will use a technique called inspirational speaking, which is a very, very, very light form of trance in which I allow my mind to remain quiet, and my spirit guides and teachers step very close and give me the information to say. I say that information, repeat it without adding any additional changes or comments. So with that, let me see who would like to share a message. After that message, I will include the messages from our Zoom services before we close. And Touch Rolling steps very close. Hello, my friends. It is interesting what one learns about oneself. Today's lesson was about awareness. And your level of awareness is indeed revealed as you deal with circumstances in life which you do not find appealing. You know, it's very simple when life is going well to allow your awareness to roam and wander and expand. But when the seas get rough, when the weather grows dark, we want to survive. And many times that mere desire to survive cuts us off from the escape route from the circumstance. It is your ability to maintain the control of your mind, your willingness to see things from a grander perspective that allow you to expand your awareness from within to without. As you allow yourself to be influenced and access your intuitive knowing, you lose the ability to become surprised. And what I mean by that is when you meet someone, whether you feel threatened or attracted, you maintain your awareness of exactly how their vibration interacts with you. When you're driving your car, I think you call it, and you come to an intersection and you're not quite sure which way is the best to go. Your little device says turn right, but your inner device says turn left. Which do you listen to? Allow yourself to develop your awareness to an exquisite degree. This entity mentioned earlier a school that is in the process of being created. And during this school, you will get the training that will allow you to on command go within. And what is the benefit of this? You are aware of the entity Jesu Christi and his impact on the world. His impact and his legendary abilities to heal and materialize allowed his work to spread like wildfire around the world. Imagine a level of awareness where you can perceive and understand exactly how to materialize water into wine, how to multiply loaves and fishes to feed the multitudes, to walk on water. Now that is a level of awareness to be lauded allow yourself to ponder this as you wrap up this year. For many, it's been a very dark time. For others, it's been a very revealing time. And as you expand your awareness, both within and without, decide and choose exactly what you want to bring about in this lifetime. Because just as you did with your healing practice this morning, it becomes as real as you allow it to become, and limited only by your level of skill. And with that, I wish you my highest blessings. Thank you, Tao Chuan Ling. Interesting thing about inspirational speaking is it goes into my short-term memory, so I get a sense and an essence of what he's sharing, but I don't get exactly word for word. And what I'm present to right now is just infinite possibility. It's like I'm present to my mind is the only limit to what I can do and bring about. And where am I allowing my mind to limit me? And it's simply in my ability to do the work and the practices to develop the skills. Next, I will be sharing with you on this video, messages from our services. And the way I do this is I start on my left and go to the right. So, Hazel, would you like a message?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
You are welcome. All right. So this message comes from Nathan, and Nathan stands on my right-hand side. He kind of wears a Men in Black type suit. He's got the old school medical lapel pin. And he shows you creating, caring for, cultivating a single stalk of corn. And on this stalk of corn, it looks like there are 4 ears. And as you're caring lovingly for this stalk of corn, in the back of your mind is this seed of doubt that it will be enough. And Nathan is reminding you that when you planted this single stalk of corn, you did so with the intention to get the ears you needed to provide you with enough seed so you could sow the next generation in a whole field. So you're not growing this single stalk of corn to feed the world. You're growing this single stalk of corn to provide you with a seed to take the next steps in feeding the world and sharing what it is you want to share. So keep in mind the intention with which you started this project. Not to solve all the problems, but to create the seeds that would start the process to allow the problems to be solved. And I will bless you and leave you with that and ask if that makes any sense or if you have any questions that I can help you with.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Excellent.
The project I've been working on, which seems to be going very, very slowly, and I'm not certain how many will benefit from it, but what you just said tells me I don't need to be concerned about that.
That's how I would interpret it as well. So I bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Sylvia, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Excellent. All right, so I've got actually 2 messages for you. The first is from Nathan, my healing teacher, And he's saying that 80% of what you need to do, you're already doing to stay safe with this COVID exposure. Add just a little bit more vigilance to what you're already doing. And don't get sucked into the drama of other people who are not doing what they need to do. Part of one of the things that happens with you is you're empathic, and you will bring yourself down to the lowest level of the person suffering the most. And right now you really need to maintain your energy, your vitality, your brilliance, if you will, to support the people who are willing to do what they need to do. And trust that the positive actions you're taking and the hypervigilance that you're under is almost certain to do what you want. And bless and leave everyone else that isn't doing what they should. So that was the first part. So that's... Now, let's get to the other part of the message. Okay, I got something you're working on, and Tao Chuan Ling shows you. I don't know if you ever remember, the old barber chairs used to have a leather strap, and they would take the straight razor and... Well, you've got this straight razor, and you are just fine-tuning and honing this blade and honing this blade and honing this blade and honing this blade. And right next to this barber chair with this leather strap and everything is like a 4-blade perfect razor and a cartridge that will take care of this situation in just 2 minutes. So you're looking at a problem to solve, and you really want the problem solved perfectly. So you're looking for the perfect solution to solve the problem. But you're not noticing the other tools and resources right in your arm's length that will help you get the result you want. So this feels like what's interesting is the context on this. It seems like you're working, this is something involving another person, and it's almost like you were going to give them a shave, and you're trying to help them with something, and the perfect tool or the perfect implement. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay. So what Tao Chuan Ling just pointed out to me that I overlooked is that the person you're trying to help wants you to use a straight razor. And you're trying to figure out how to do it and get it done right. But you know the better way is to use this 4-blade cartridge. So trust yourself in helping this other person accept your help the way you know it'll work. And it's a simple mindset shift. The first mindset shift is from you with allowing yourself to be a little bit more assertive and say, I know this will work, and if you want my help, I'll give it, and this is how I'll give it. And the other mindset shift is for the other person to accept the help that they ask for in the way it's being willing to be given. And I've got a small financial aspect to it. I've got a time aspect to it. So it seemed like it's a pretty entailed offer. So does that make any darn sense to you?
Well, I have to figure out which person it is.
Well, on your mindset shift, it could be relate to multiple people, of really giving the help you're willing to give, and then applying it appropriately to each other person who's wanting you to help, but in their way. And Savannah, one of the things that happens is when I read in person, I get a sense of whether the message is connecting. Now that we're on Zoom, I don't get that physical connection, so I ask I am asking whether or not the message connects, because I'm missing that vibrational connection. So I bless you and leave you with that, Sylvia.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Savannah, would you like a message?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. You have a little puppy? Tell us your puppy's name.
That would be Charlie. He's bad for barking.
What kind of friend is Charlie?
A Pomeranian Chihuahua.
Oh my goodness. My Pomeranian Chihuahua just heard your Pomeranian Chihuahua. And he's starting to get... So what color?
Like he looks like a fox, like that rusty.
Oh no, we've got ours isn't Pomeranian. Ours is Pompeii. Not a Pompeii. Papillon. We have Papillon. So, all right. His bark is almost identical, though. All right. Anyway, sorry for the distraction, but it sounds so familiar. Okay, so you said yes to a message. So let me see what we can come up with. I've got a beautiful vista of a forest, and you're up on, it looks like it's not a tall mountain, but it's a very big hill. So it's not like rugged Rocky Mountains. It's like the tallest hill surrounded by, rolling countryside, and it overlooks a wonderful view of, it looks like trees, some ponds. It's just a gorgeous, postcard picture. As long as you're looking straight ahead, when you look to the side, you see some places where the trees have been cut down. And the stark reality of this beautiful vista of all this green and healthy and live and growing and beauty is right next to this clear-cut patch. And that makes you sad. And it affects you kind of more deeply, more profoundly than it affects other people. And the message that's coming to this, and it's coming from my teacher, Tao Chuan Ling, he's a Chinese priest, stands on my right, is that part of your ability to be able to accomplish what you want to bring about in life is to accept the things that are beyond your control and enjoy the beauty that is there rather than focusing on the beauty that used to be there. And as I look into this message and I really look at the layers upon layers upon layers, you notice this difference, the beautiful part and the not so beautiful part, or the downright ugly part, in virtually everything you encounter, whether it's a person, whether it's an opportunity, whether it's this vista on top of this hill. And it's almost like you can't help yourself from focusing on the negative or the ugly as opposed to the beautiful. And it's pretty much part of your situational awareness and the tribe you grew up in. And it's allowing yourself to begin to open up the spiritual eyes of your soul, to allow yourself to start to see beyond the physical presentation, to really allow yourself to touch the deeper, more beautiful, non-physical aspects. Because as you look at this stark difference between this gorgeous forest area and this clear-cut area, in the clear-cut area are thousands of little trees starting to grow again. And as the thousands of little trees are growing again, it's not big enough to cover up the dirt, but you can start to see animals that are starting to go back in there. So you see this renewal cycle of this growth area going through its process. And allowing yourself to be able to touch into and connect with the beauty you see anywhere is will make several of the choices and decisions you are trying to make going into the new year more. What word do you want me to use on that? Okay. You'll make the decisions, some of the decisions you've got going into the new year, moving towards something rather than away from something. And what I mean by that is you're drawn towards the beauty of this old growth wooded area. And the opportunity or the right choice may actually be to go do something over in the less attractive new growth area. And have your influence on an area that is newly being created rather than something that's already been there for a while. All right, I'll bless you and leave you with that and open the floor to see if that made any darn sense to you whatsoever.
Yeah. It resonates a lot. At least in the beginning part, and I do feel I'm at quite a bit of a crossroads with the past or how I perceive in the future. It's just the ending, I guess, with going towards the decrepit area to allow for regrowth or rebuilding.
Yeah, and really look at your choice of words with decrepit, because that is your initial view. And if you look more closely and see the renewal and the new growth, it's not necessarily your initial gut reaction, but it's the possibility in seeing the future in a situation, which may allow you to make a choice you wouldn't normally do. Because it's like, I wouldn't want to go there. I wouldn't want to walk through there. But the best path for you may be to walk through there. And as you walk through there, you see the small trees and the small animals, and you see more to it as you get closer and closer, as you walk the path through the area as opposed to look at it from the hill. Now, if you got a message that doesn't necessarily land for you, what I recommend you do is write it in your journal and then kind of let it sit there and ponder for a little bit, and it'll either make total sense for you or it won't make sense for you. And over time, what my experience is, especially if you decide to come back a few times in a row, you'll get a more holistic picture of what the message they're trying to get through to you is. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll bless you and leave you with that. And Robin, would you like a message? Okay. So, Savannah, Robin has a friend called Monroe. So, how's Monroe today? Some of these little buttons are so darn hard to hit. Is it good? Is Monroe good? Excellent. All right, would you like a message? Seems like over the next couple of weeks, you're going to have several different, and the word Nathan wants me to use is invitations. And he's wanting you, before you open the invitation, to take a deep breath, touch stillness, and get a sense of whether or not you should accept the invitation or not before you read any of the information about it. So whether if it comes, if you get an email invitation or a physical invitation in the mail, before you open it and really read all the details, deep breath, go down to stillness, come back up to the eye of the storm, your place of knowing, and get a sense about the invitation, because he's showing me of these invitations, two of them in particular, have a big red X over them. And it means for some reason, and he's not being explicit as to the reason, it's most likely in your best interest to be busy that day. So he's not sharing why. So don't.
I know why.
Okay. But really allow yourself to touch into it, because when you read the invitation, it's going to make sense and you're going to want to do it and stuff like that. But get a sense of whether you should accept or decline before you read it. And then verify later whether you're accurate. You're kind of in that part of your own development of learning to trust what you know, and then getting the proof that you need that what you know was right. And the way we do that is create scenarios and situations which we track in our journal, where we get our gut feel and our opinion and our intuition before we take an action, and then we do an after action report to see if we were accurate on our intuitive knowing. So and the trust usually comes pretty quickly, but what happens is when we have things that we know we really want to do and our gut feel says don't do it, the instinct overrides the intuition, and we oftentimes will find ourselves in a circumstance we wish we weren't in, and it could be for almost any reason. So I will bless you and leave you with that. And do you have any questions or concerns?
It's kind of funny because we do have two invitations. One is a Christmas party that we always go to. And this year, because we moved my mother in, I'm thinking that this is not a good idea because she is 84. So I'm not thinking it's a good idea to go to this gathering. And then we have another opportunity coming up next week. And my first instinct was like, oh no. So you saying that just is kind of confirmation.
Yeah, good. Just trust it and go from there. So, all right, I bless you and leave with that. With that, Lisa, would you like a message? Excellent. Did you just get some good news or meet someone recently? No?
No.
I've got a general level of excitation, and it's like you kind of, it's an anticipatory good news kind of thing, and your heart's kind of aflutter and you're kind of excited. And what the message is coming from Nathan. What the message around this is, allow yourself to experience the good, the excitation. Be a little kid again. It's kind of like, you're waking up on Christmas morning and walking down and you're can't wait to see what Santa Claus is going to bring you. So if you get an inkling of a new opportunity or something fun or Santa Claus coming or something like that, pursue it. Really pursue it and go in with an open mind and allow yourself really to experience that childlike excitation again. Definitely feels like it's going to happen before the new year. So any question I can answer about that?
No. Actually, I had bad news this week, so maybe good news next week. Our house didn't close.
Oh, no.
So it'll hopefully close next week. So maybe that's the excitement.
Yeah, when you get the check.
Yeah.
So it just got delayed, or?
It just got delayed. Yeah, because of the holiday.
Yeah. It's and people like to close on the last day of the month because it saves them a few shekels. So I was a real estate broker for about 10 years, and every time someone wanted to close 5 or 10 days before the end of the month, it was like, yeah, it's going to get pushed back to the last day of the month. And I think a lot of escrow officers are drama queens, and they like that pressure of the last 48 hours of the last, anyway.
Very possible.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of people think it's a really good idea to move in the like Thanksgiving week because you got a 4-day weekend. But yeah, that almost never happens. Oh no.
Don't spell.
I just made a mess. So, okay, I will bless you and leave you with that. And hopefully,
Thank you, Terry.
Hopefully, it is a series of good news things that are going to come along. So,
I hope so too. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Beverly, would you like a message? Okay.
Yes, please.
You are just 1 second, and I'll get you. Tao Chuan Ling steps very close, and he's reminding you that it's okay to be low key. And it's as though when you walk out the door of your house, so this is coming from me, it's not coming from him. There was some movie I saw somewhere, and this guy would be getting ready in the mirror, and he goes, "It's showtime." So there's part of you that feels like you got to step into showtime. And Tao Chuan Ling is reminding you that sometimes that extra energy it requires for you to be positive and happy is better served staying within you to take care of yourself and really allowing yourself to be active at the same time you're being restful. Be active at the same time you're being restful, and not feel like you've got to make everyone else's day. Just allow yourself to be, conserve your energy. And he says, if you do that, you'll be less tired at night. And because you're less tired, you actually will get a better rest. Because sometimes, you get so tired you just can't sleep because you're too tired. And that's kind of weird, but I think you know what I mean on that. So can I answer any questions? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. I understand it completely.
Excellent. Excellent. I will bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome. And Oscar, you're next. Would you like a message, sir?
Yes, please. Thank you.
You are welcome. I've got you operating a remote control airplane. And it's an old school airplane. It's not the new school drones. So it requires a little runway, and you run it, and it goes fast, it takes off, and it flies, and you're doing circles, and you're trying to figure out how to do loop-de-loops. And every time you try to do loop-de-loops, something goes wrong, and the plane kind of goes boom, and you pick it up, and you refuel it up, and you start the engine again, and you go up, and you try to do loop-de-loops again. And this message is coming from Tao Chuan Ling, and Tao Chuan Ling is saying the only way to master what you want to do is by doing it. You can't read it in a book. You can't watch a video. You have to master exactly how to do the controls on the remote control to get the trick and get the results you want. So you got something going on in your life you're trying to figure out, trying to master, trying to get results with. And the only way you're going to do it is keep on doing it until you figure it out. And then once you figure it out, then it's still not going to go exactly as planned, because then you've got to figure it out how to do it on a regular basis. And this is absolutely 100% to do with your spiritual growth and development. You've opened a door into an area of life that very few people venture into. And you're wanting to learn, you're wanting to figure out how all this stuff works. So keep on practicing, keeping on doing the work, and really, the way he wants me to say this to you is, to really stop trying to get other people's opinions about how to do it, and really just do it for yourself. And once you figure it out for yourself, and then keep on doing it until you get good at it, then you'll know. And once you know, then any other information you get from other people will make sense, because it makes sense because you've got this experience, and you'll be able to understand the nuances of what they're trying to say. And I will bless you and leave you with that, and see if you have any questions I can support you with around that.
No, thank you. Yes, just indeed, I need to master. That's what I'm here every Sunday, because I need to know more and more. So maybe that's the message. I can just keep learning.
Keep the learning, but also keep the practice, because you can show up here every Sunday, but if you're not doing the meditation and the healing during the week,
yes,
you're not going to get the muscle memory and train your body to be relaxed on command, which then will start to open the door to more into the intuitive side, the intuitive knowing, and the spirit guides and teachers. And that's the hardest part, is to incorporate a day-to-day practice, especially when it's, meditation is one of the hardest things in the world to do. It's easy to sit, but it's hard to not think. And as you become more and more skilled at not thinking, then the skills of being able to not think on command, which then opens the door to your awareness and your intuition, that's where the benefit comes in. So I will bless you and leave you with that. And keep up the good work, and I'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
You are welcome. And Judy, you're next. Would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Excellent.
Yes, please.
Thank you, and I will. So, have you ever watched the movie The Blues Brothers?
No.
No?
No, I haven't.
Well, there's a scene in The Blues Brothers where Jake and Elwood are in their car, and they're getting ready to make the trip, and they said, okay, we got half a tank of gas and half a pack of cigarettes and this and this and this, and they go down this checklist, let's go. And you've got everything you need to bring about the next two things you want to accomplish, except for that let's go attitude. And what Nathan is saying is, the time, it will never be more opportune than now to push the button and take it out of park and go. And there's two different areas of your life this applies to. I think you know exactly which two they are. You got everything you need, the opportunity, the time, everything is right. So let's go.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome. You have any questions or need any explanation on that?
No, it's what I needed I needed the help, because I had asked the angels for help to guide it. And as always, they deliver if I just listen. So thank you.
And who the hell knew your angel would be a 6'3" bald guy who weighs 250 pounds on Zoom? All right.
Hey.
My highest blessings, my dear. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
All right.
Thank you.
Claudia, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
Excellent. All right, I've got you on a paper mache project, and you've got one of the balloons, and you're dutifully taking the newspaper and you're putting it in whatever the heck you put paper mache in. And every time you start to put the newspaper around the balloon deflates. And you have to stop and blow it up, and you start again, and then the balloon deflates. So what's interesting is you're tying the knot appropriately, but there's a leak in the balloon. So you've got a batch of balloons, and this batch of balloons is defective. And it's like, no matter what you do, you can't get this project off the ground because there's one part that's not working the way it's supposed to be working. And the message for this is today around this image is the part that's not working is you've got a fundamental flaw in how you think it should work. So the reason it's not working is because you think it should work differently than the way it's going to work. And so Tao Chuan Ling is sharing with you that when you keep on, this is my words, you know, there's that definition of insanity of you keep on doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Well, he's reminding you that it's only there's a fine line between practice and a flawed plan. And there's something you're trying to bring about. There's something you really want to have happen, and you keep on looking at it, thinking practice will make it different, when indeed there's a flawed premise in what you're trying to get done. The other thing he's showing me is he's written on it's on a fortune, like the fortune out of a fortune cookie, that you can bring Muhammad to the mountain, but you can't bring the mountain to Muhammad. So really allow yourself to re-examine exactly what you want to bring about and the motivation behind it, and where you may be flawed in the premise of what you want to bring about. And once everything is aligned with the proper tools and the proper mindset and the proper thinking, then you will see how to get the result you want. Because it will not be effortless, but it will not be in vain. And right now, a few things you're trying to bring about feel like they're hard, and they're not getting the result you want. And I will bless you and leave you with that, and see if you have any questions about that.
Haven't gone to the school with my offer, but I will soon. But there are other projects at the same time, so it could be any of them. And it's funny that you mentioned fortune cookie, because I have a fortune cookie strips like next to my bed, and it talks about projects.
Okay. Yeah, very few things get past Spirit. They know how to coin a phrase where we can get the maximum impact. So, all right, my dear, I'll bless you and leave you with that.
Thank you, Terry.
All right, Hanna, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
I've got, and this is coming from Christopher, my joy guide. And Christopher is sitting cross-legged on the floor. And in front of him is one of those big tubs of those butter cookies from Costco that come in the little paper packages. They're like 4 or 5 cookies in a paper package, and then there's a layer, and they're like 5 or 10 layers deep, and he's got a big old glass of milk and a gallon of milk beside it, and he's ready just to hunker down on some cookies and have basically go to as far out of moderation as you can. And the reason that you're being shown this today is you've got a love-hate relationship with sugar and treats, and you allow yourself to do what you want and then feel bad about it without any intention to change. And what he's wanting you to know, especially going into this next few weeks of the holiday season, is if you're going to have milk and cookies, enjoy the milk and cookies and don't feel bad about it. If you don't want milk and cookies, if you decide not to have milk and cookies, then don't have milk and cookies. But if you're going to have them, enjoy them and just take all you want and enjoy them and know that there may be consequences. But while you're enjoying them, enjoy them. And he says this is especially true during the holidays, and feeling bad after you eat too much milk and cookies isn't going to change the fact you ate the milk and cookies. So if you're going to do it right. And if you're not going to do it, don't do it at all. So don't stand with one foot on either side of the fence and be uncomfortable. Either go all in or go all out. But, don't feel bad when you do what you know you're going to do anyway. And then feeling bad just wastes energy and really affects you more than the treat. And I will bless you and leave you that and see if you have any question, any follow-up and clarification on that.
Oh, it's a very good message. Yeah, I appreciate. And just the thing that consequences, that's what bothers me.
Yeah, but the thing is you're going to do it anyway, so don't make the consequences worse by regretting it.
Maybe I will not do it.
If you're going to jump in the pool and have fun. If you don't want to jump in the pool, the consequence of jumping in the pool is you get wet and you have fun. The consequence of not is something different. And the problem is you do what you're going to do, and then you regret the consequences. So if you're going to do what you're going to do, don't regret the consequences. Just say, I did what I did. That was fun.
Yeah. Like now I have this big box of chocolate-covered cherries with cherry liqueur. I love them. I would like to eat all of them. But there are consequences after.
Well, if the thing is let's say you decide you're going to have one cherry a day, one chocolate-covered cherry.
Oh, no, one, better not to have anything, because when one, I'm addicted, I need to have 3 or 5.
Whatever you decide, do that, and then be happy with it. And
exactly. I would just have it or not have it.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's the feeling bad part of it that is the problem, not the doing of it.
Okay.
So I will bless you and leave you with that. And Albert, would you like a message?
Yes, please.
All right, so Nathan steps very, very close to me, like almost uncomfortably close. And he is reminding you the difference between thinking about healing and actually healing. And he is showing me the image of the pinwheel and being able to move the pinwheel with your mind. When it moves, it's real. When you're thinking about it moving, it doesn't move. And he says the same thing applies with your healing. So as you consider how you're going to move forward with some healing work you want done, make sure that you're actually doing what you're thinking about doing rather than just thinking about it. And he wants you to remember the context of moving the pinwheel with your mind. And I will bless you and leave you with that and see if you would like any clarification or if that made sense.
No, that's fine. That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Jan, would you like a message?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, I've got almost one of the biggest craft tables I've ever seen. This thing is it's like an aircraft carrier. And I've got some of those styrofoam donuts, and you're trying to figure out exactly the right way to make some wreaths, round things that go on the door. And you've got some poinsettias, you've got some cypress, you've got some trimmings off of some really smelly good kind of piney things, and you've got just a whole plethora of stuff. And you're wanting to do something slightly different this time. So you're trying to go through your mind to figure out how to make a Christmas wreath unique, different, put your own flair on it besides just a different color bow or whatever. And what Tao Chuan Ling is reminding me to share with you is that there are some things that are tradition and require no innovation. And there are some things that are innovative because they're an expression of yourself. And, you know, so this is from me, this is not from Spirit. I'm kind of a freestyle cooker when I'm the cook in the family, but I never do the same thing twice. I just use what's around and I cook, and so the chili comes out different every time. And some people just want the damn chili that they made, and I'm not a recipe follower. So if you're doing something for yourself, innovation is perfect. If you're following a tradition that others will enjoy, remember that they just want what they want, and they're not looking for change. So you really can't inspire others with innovation when all they want is the same chili that they've had from Wendy's for the last 30 years. So really allow yourself to get clear on the intention behind any innovation, and remember that sometimes you're doing things for others and they want what they want, and sometimes you do things for yourself, and then you can kind of play around on that. Now here's the part that's interesting about this message is on this corner, on the far, so you're standing in front of this humongous, I mean, I don't even see how your arm can reach the other side of the damn thing, but over in the far corner is a little pile, and this little pile has some really interesting and wonderful things in it that were put there for later. And there were ideas, there were remnants, there were different things that when you put them there, you had an idea of why you were keeping it. So it's not like you're just a hoarder and things are just being piled up there for no reason. You put it there with a reason, but you forgot about the pile. So there's something around you that you put away for later, and he's reminding you that to scratch this innovation itch, to really do some things that are kind of fun and creative, go to that pile and really look at some of the things you put away from later and let your mind run wild and do them for you. And then you may introduce a new tradition, but some people just want the old tradition because it's tradition, and you don't mess with the tradition.
I see.
I will bless you with that and see if you have any questions or comments.
All right. Well, let's see. Yes, that message, that makes sense in that I'm artistic, and so it sounds like I have to locate something, because it's true that I start different artistic things, and so there probably is something that I would need to uncover. But then so I'll remember that. And then when you were speaking about innovation and how I need to be aware, to be careful, like if I'm helping to inspire others or helping, that I need to, I guess, keep in mind not to throw something too untraditional at them. Maybe I should start with things that are tried and true, and then after because I am in fact writing some letters to people and to a counselor to try and give him some further ideas to help teenagers during extremely challenging time. Good. And so I feel like Spirit is saying to be careful to put forth some sound and traditional ideas and not get too far afield initially until I develop a relationship, more of a relationship with the counselor or whoever I'm communicating with.
Excellent. Yeah. It sounds like you're nailing it right on the head. So Now, the one thing I recommend is you write these into a journal and revisit them from time to time so you can go back in and kind of see how they hit you differently as the message kind of gets more fully integrated into your awareness. So,
Yes.
I will bless you and leave you with that. And welcome. Hope to see you again soon. Okay, my friends, so that's the end of our messages services. I bless you all with those messages. And so let's set the intention for the week. And we're going to continue. I forgot to do this in the 7:30 service, so shame on me. Did you have a question, Beverly?
No.
Okay. So put your hands out to your sides, your left hand and your right hand in a comfortable position. And I'm going to have you kind of look to the left and invite the teacher on your left, and if you don't know their name, just say lefty, to hold your hand, and turn your attention to your right. And if you don't know the teacher's name, say righty, and invite them to hold your hand. And then I'm going to invite our spirit guides and teachers to complete the circle between us, to complete the circuit, if you will. And as we are all connected here through time and space, through the spirit of energy, which is limitless, I want us to think about meeting together next Sunday, a week from today. And we've accomplished whatever is on the top of our list that we want to accomplish for ourselves, our spiritual growth and our development. And sometimes it's something real in the real world that needs to be accomplished to free up the time and energy and the space to do some other stuff. So we meet again next Sunday, and we've accomplished that one thing. So what's that feeling? What's that experience of accomplishing that goal, that intention? Very good. Now that's your intention for the week. That's your context for the week. And as we are connected here through time and space with our spirit guides and teachers, I invite them to help us open our eyes that we may see, open our ears that we may hear, open our minds that we may comprehend, and open our hearts that we may give and receive love freely as we pursue the accomplishment of this goal, this ambition for the week. And keep in the foreground this context, this feeling that we've already got it done, and allow ourselves to express to the world our authentic being and accomplish and get done what it is we set about to accomplish this week. And before we break our connection through spirit, time, and space, I want to acknowledge and thank you all for being here and close this service with a simple expression of gratitude. You know, it's a beautiful thing to connect with other like minds and kindred spirits. And I feel like we're growing, a small but growing community of people looking for answers and knowing that going within is where we'll find them. And as we break company for this day, I want to finish with each of us saying together, and so it is. And I thank our spirit guides and teachers, give them a little bit of acknowledgement, and thank them for being in your life and helping us connect. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And I wish you all a fun and fruitful and productive week. And my highest blessings. Hope to see you on Wednesday at the Messages Circle. If not, we'll see you next Sunday. Take good care, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Terry. Love
All right.
you.
Love you all. Take good care, everyone.
Thank you.
Virtual hugs.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.